This popular family UK water ride is closing forever. Viking River Splash opened at Lego Land Windsor back in 2007 and it was confirmed by the resort yesterday that this ride would close on the 25th of September. So under a month's time is your time to get a last ride on Viking River Splash. Viking River Splash was manufactured by ABC Rides and it was a very unexpected closure by Lego Land Windsor. I don't think any of us expected this. It was so out of the blue just to announce they'll be closing on the 25th of September. It has been quite a staple ride for Lego Land Windsor, one of their standout water rides at the park, and it will be closing, and that leaves the question and begs the question, what is the future of this plot of land? Will the rapids stay and be rethemed? Will they be removed? Will a new roller coaster take place of the area? Will a new flat ride? Will a new dark ride? There's still so many questions. We're going to discuss those a little bit later on, but first of all, I'm going to discuss some of the reasons on why Lego Land Windsor have taken the decision to close this popular ride. Obviously, theme parks don't just close rides for the sake of it. There's so many logistical reasons behind why they would close and remove a ride, and that's probably the same. That applies for Viking River Splash. They wouldn't just remove or close one of their most popular rides. It's either because of running costs or another factor that's unknown. Maybe running costs was a huge factor in the closure of Viking River Rapids. We know that rapids take quite a lot of energy to actually use and run, so that could be a big factor for Lego Land Windsor. Maybe they're thinking of installing another more energy efficient ride. Downtime and maintenance costs is another huge factor. I mean, we know Viking River Splash was down for a lot of this season. Actually, I visited Lego Land Windsor a few months ago now, before the summer season, and that ride was down, so I couldn't get on it. So I won't be having any last rides, unfortunately, but it just shows how unreliable this River Rapids has been this season. It was closed when I went, and I know it was closed before I went and also after I went. And I have been on it before. I went on it when I was much younger, and it's a very good experience, I guess. It's nothing amazing, it's just rapids really. Good few effects around it, but unfortunately over the years the effects have been removed or just switched off altogether. Like, there used to be a waterfall before you went through the rest of the trough. There used to be a bucket effect, but they were all turned off back in 2017 for obvious reasons. But it would just be nice to see, maybe if they were planning to keep the ride, them actually do it up and add some effects. One of the main theming pieces on the ride is the dragon sculpture made out of Lego, obviously because of the Lego IP. But that was really the only standout of this ride. There used to be like water guns that used to be able to sort of soak riders, which was very cool. But of course those were all removed. Loads of water effects have been removed and nothing really replaced it. At least on Congo River Rapids at Alton Towers, we had the introduction of the waterfalls this season. That just never happened with Lego Land Windsor Rapids. Everything was just removed and nothing actually replaced the effects. Let's be honest, they're probably the most unvisually pleasing rapids in the UK. Just look at them. It just doesn't really fit, does it? I feel like these rapids have so much potential as well. When they opened back in 2007, there could have been just so much more Lego theming. Tunnels made out of Lego. I don't know, it just feels like it wasn't used to its full potential. And with the manufacturer being ABC Rides, was that the best manufacturer to go for? Intamin are very popular in the world of river rapids. Actually, most of the permanent long sort of large scale rapids in the UK are manufactured by Intamin. Think of Thorpe Parks, think of Alton Towers, think of Drayton Manors. It was just weird for Lego Land Windsor, owned by Merlin Attractions or Entertainments, to go for ABC Rides. This is the same manufacturer actually that manufactured the drop towers in the dungeons and also Nemesis Subterra. It's just a sort of weird manufacturer to go for rapids. Is it because it was cheaper or because it was sort of a more compact layout? I'm not too sure. I would sort of urge towards the cheaper layout because that's a business at the end of the day. But yeah, a very interesting manufacturer, and I think it just shows that if you pay just maybe that little bit more from Intamin, you'd get maybe a little bit of a better quality product, arguably. I mean, look at Drayton Manors, look at Alton Towers. They've been going for many, many years, much longer than the running time of Viking Splash. I mean, how long's that? 2007 to 2023, what, 16 years? It's not really that long, is it, for a ride? I just can't get over the fact how random this announcement was. I was not expecting to record a video today about Viking River Splash, or let alone any sort of video, but here I am reporting that Legoland will be shutting their rapids before the 25th of September, or on the 25th of September, and that'll be your last chance to ride, unfortunately. Is it a huge loss? No, I think there's so much potential with that area. When it opened in 2007, they said that it wasn't just the Rapids installation, but it was going to be a whole Viking area. I think it's called Land of the Vikings? Land of the Vikings, I think it was called. And yeah, they said it was going to be a whole area, but it literally is just that ride. Not even a food outlet, not even like a slush puppy stall. It's literally just that ride. So it would have made sense in the coming years to have an expansion of the Vikings area, considering it was just that one ride. But no, they said they're going to remove it. We can only assume that they'll remove the area as well and completely transform it. And that leads me on to the next topic. What will be the next steps for this area? I think it's very unlikely that we'll have a re-theme of Viking River Splash. I think they'll just get rid of the whole ride system. I don't think there's any point of re-theming it. It wasn't really a ride that had many special places in our heart. I don't really have a connection with Viking River Splash. It's an alright ride to have at Lego Land Windsor. I probably went in it once or twice when I was younger. Nothing really a substantial loss for me personally. Maybe you think different. Let me know if you have some happy memories on Viking River Splash. But I just think get rid of it all. Get rid of that whole area and replace it with a nice roller coaster. And you may be thinking, why would you replace it with a new roller coaster? Legoland's already getting a new coaster next year. Is it 2025, 2024? They're getting a new coaster in the next few years. A dueling boomerang coaster. So would it make sense for them to have a coaster just a few years later? Yes, definitely. Lego Land Windsor needs that capacity. It's one of the busiest UK parks, along with Chessington as well. And they just need a new coaster, a high throughput coaster. No matter how many flat rides, no matter how many dark rides they put in, a theme park, no matter whether it's family, no matter whether it's thrill, they will always need new roller coasters to cater to the audience at the park. And I think Legoland Windsor is one of those parks that definitely need it. Like Chessington, they needed a new coaster. They got Mandrill Mayhem. Was it probably the perfect fit in terms of capacity? Probably not. I'd love to see Legoland get a coaster that has such a high throughput, because I think that will be the perfect addition for the park. Theme it up nicely, do a nice whole area around that park, and it could be something very nice. A dark ride would also be nice to see. You got to think, you got the Ninjago building sort of off to the right of it as well, so you could sort of expand that building, have another dark ride in that area. But I don't really think that Legoland needs another dark ride at this point. A high capacity roller coaster or a high capacity flat ride could be very, very beneficial to the park. But there we go, Viking River Splash closing at Legoland Windsor on the 25th of September. Just quickly now, I'll read you the official statement from Legoland Windsor, giving a little bit of backstory on why it's closed, and I guess just a closing statement in a bit of a Viking theme. But here we go. Calling all Vikings, it's time to lay down your oars and say a fond farewell to Viking River Splash. Join the Lego Viking fleet one last time and make your last voyage before Monday, the 25th of September, after which the ride becomes part of Viking history. There we go. Legoland Windsor, Viking Splash is officially closing. Goodbye.